Welcome to another episode of Sister Sharpens Sister. My name is Karen. You'll see Shalon in the, what is that, dark green, navy blue?
Black, faded
Oh,
black.
black.
It's old.
Okay. And then Delina is in the green. And today, Delina is the leader. She's going to talk to us about the Appalachian individual that she's decided to focus on. Or
Mhm.
maybe she has more than one. I don't know. So we're about to find out.
I decided to look into a woman whose name is Katherine Johnson.
Katherine Johnson.
Yes.
Okay. Now spell it. Is that with a K or a C?
It's from everything I found, I had it with a K.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, because whenever I would type it in, I would find some research that had it spelled with a C, but I think it's a K. So
Okay.
I went with a K. Now, Katherine, Miss Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, um, had an IQ of about 162.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And she was born in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia on August 26, 1918.
Wow.
Her parents were Joshua Coleman and Joylette Lowe Coleman. So she was a Lowe before she was married. Catherine had three siblings, Horace, Charles, and a sister Margaret, and Catherine was the youngest of the four children. Okay. Now, Catherine died February 24, 2020 in Newport News, Virginia at the age of 101.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how old
Now,
my lady was when
I
she
know.
died.
It's what I was just getting ready to say. Isn't that the same as what yours was?
now, Catherine's name at birth was Creola, Creola, Catherine Coleman.
Creola.
Yeah, that was the first name her mom and dad gave her, Creola, according to my research I did and I found. It's an
Huh.
interesting name. I didn't research the name, so I have no idea where it came from. Now, I found a little bit of conflicting information when I was trying to find out about Catherine, okay? Because I found information that said she started high school when she was 10 years old. But
Okay.
then I found information that said she only skipped 2 grades in early public school. And I'm like, wait a minute. The normal start date for high school is 14. That's 4 years of skipping, not two. At minimum, three, depending on when school starts and when your birthday is.
Right.
Minimum of three. So my little thing I have wrote up here about her is I say I'm going to say that she was a genius with an IQ of around 162, and she skipped 3 to 4 years of early public school. She started high school at age 10, graduated at 13 or 14, and in 1937 she graduated summa cum laude from West Virginia State College, which is now West Virginia State University in Institute, West Virginia, and it's located along Institute West Virginia is located along the Kanawha River in Kanawha County.
Right. Yeah. It's just outside of Charleston.
Yeah. She graduated with a Bachelor of Science double degree in mathematics and French, and she was about the age of 18 when she graduated.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Her first name, Creola,
Uh-huh.
means native to the land,
Well, that's interesting.
and it comes from the term Creole.
Well, I thought it was familiar to Creole, but I wasn't sure that it was a connection. So,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like Creole is like French.
mm-hmm.
It's often associated with the term Creole, which describes individuals of mixed European and African descent, especially those around Louisiana or from the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's what her mommy and daddy named her. So, but she went by Catherine, obviously. Um, so let me look. Where was I? After she graduated, she started teaching mathematics in Newport News, Virginia at a segregated school. Okay. Now, in 1939, she was one of the first three African American students and the first African American woman to integrate West Virginia University's graduate program. And this happened after West Virginia, the state, decided to quietly integrate its graduate schools.
Mm,
Now, she did not stay with the program. She decided to get married and start a family, so she left after just one session. And a session is it's not a semester, it's shorter than a semester. It's like a kind of like a summer school is a session because it's like shorter and more intense and longer period in the class. Instead of just an hour, you might spend 4 hours. So it's more intense. That's what she was enrolled in. But she decided to leave and start a family. And she started in 1939, but then she decided to leave and start a family. So she married James Francis Goble, Goble, in 1939. Okay. She and James Goble had 3 children: Joylette Goble Heilich, who was born in 1940, Constance Goble Boykin Garcia, who was born in 1943, and she passed in 2010, and Catherine Helena Goble Moore, who was born in 1944. Okay. Now, James, the first husband, died of an inoperable brain tumor in 1956. Yeah. 3 years after his death, she married James A. Jim Johnson, where she gets her name, Katherine Johnson.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what else do I have? I think that's all I've got on personal. So now I'm going to go to professional life. Okay. Now, her professional life, she started, well, of course, she started as a teacher, teaching mathematics in Newport News, Virginia. But after that, she started working for NCAC.
I don't know what that is.
I know most people will not. It would eventually become NASA.
Okay.
Okay. NCAC was the acronym for National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. Later became NASA. She started working for NCAC in 1953. Now, she was brought in to work as a quote unquote computer. Okay. And she and other African American women had to work in the segregated West area computing. And I want to stop for just one quick second, because I don't want people to think that I'm forgetting about other African American women who were working for NASA at the time. There was Mary W. Jackson and Dorothy Vaughan, who were also well known. Okay. And let me find.
I'm sorry if you hear ruckus in the background. It is the dog.
Okay. Now, Dorothy Vaughan also grew up in Morgantown, but she wasn't born there. She was born in Kansas City, Missouri, which is why I didn't pick her. I picked Katherine Johnson because Katherine Johnson was born there, grew up there, went to public school there, went to college there, and she left after, but that's why I picked Katherine Johnson. But these are other 2 ladies, if anyone is interested in reading about the African American ladies who were computers for NASA back in 1953. Mary W. Jackson and Dorothy Vaughan are 2 names that might be interesting if people want to read.
We may have never gotten to space without them.
I don't think we would have, honestly. So she started working for them in 1953. It did desegregate, and it occurred as a result of the restructuring and desegregation that accompanied the transition of NACA into NASA. Okay, when that happened, they had desegregation and integration. Now, the official disbanding of the segregated West Area Computing Unit and the reassignment of its members to racially and genderly, I guess you could say, integrated branches was formally carried out through a memo issued by NACA Associate Director Floyd L. Thompson on May 5th, 1958. So she worked in the segregated part of NASA from 53 to 58. Now, while she worked at NACA and NASA, all the same place, she calculated by hand orbital trajectories, which were essential for the success of early NASA missions. She worked on orbital mechanics for the U.S. crew space flights. She was instrumental with ensuring the safety and success of the Apollo 11 mission, wherein she helped synchronize the lunar lander with the command and service module for the moon landing and returned them to Earth. Her calculations were instrumental with getting the astronauts of the Apollo 13 mission home safely. And she worked on the space shuttle program. She worked on Earth Resource Satellite, involved with calculations related to its orbit and data collection. And if anyone doesn't know what that is They work with the U.S. Geology Survey Landsat program, and they provide continuous global observations of Earth, and they've done that since 1972. Now, according to her daughters, according to Catherine's daughters, the two that survived, because they and their mother wrote a book, and I'll get into the name of that book here in a little bit. They said that their mother's approach to the discrimination she received because of her race and her gender while at NASA, that her approach to it was not to, and I'm quoting them, fight. Her approach to it was to outthink those who had discriminatory actions and words. And so her fight was with her intelligence. And
Good for
she
her.
said, yes, absolutely. She said that when integration occurred and she walked into her work area, some of the men just walked out. Okay. Some of them I'm sure were racist. Some of them I think would have walked out even if she'd have been a white woman because she was
Right,
a
just
woman.
because she was a woman. Yeah.
Yes. So, and what she did, she just took a seat at her desk and started working. And when all of these men found out that her calculations showed to not only be correct but valuable, they started realizing what a valuable resource she was.
Yeah. Can you imagine how long some of those men might have spent just trying to prove her calculations incorrect?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what she had to deal with, but she just kept pushing through and pushing through. Now, she retired from NASA in 1986 after 33 years of service.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It is a long time.
Now, her cultural contributions are obviously letting women, any woman, but particularly women and people of color, know that they can pursue careers and fields in what's known as STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
This is what I've been dealing with.
Pay attention to me, mommy.
Yeah.
Now, her contributions, although some people would have known about her contributions if they were associated with NASA or other programs, through NASA, they
Hmm.
probably would have known about her and her contributions. The world and us, we didn't know until a book titled Hidden Figures, written by Margaret Lee Shetterly, was published in 2016. There's a film by the same name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but I have heard very good things. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys go ahead and talk. I'm going to have to let him go do his business.
Okay.
Trying to
Um,
remember in the film Apollo 13. I don't think that they make reference to her at all.
it's been a long time since I've seen the film. I don't remember, but I'm going to say probably not.
Okay, yeah, because I don't remember seeing like any kind of acknowledgement
No.
of women doing anything in that.
Mm-mm. No,
Huh.
other than the wives, but yeah, but she was there. She was there.
Right.
She was calculating by hand to get those men home safely.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I
um,
cannot believe being that smart.
I was always pretty decent at mathematics, but I'm nowhere no, I'm nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's probably what, maybe 20 people in the world that can do that.
There's not many because generally these days, at least, they use calculators and computers. She did
Right,
everything
yeah.
by hand on
Yeah.
paper with her brain or on a chalkboard or whatever.
That's insane.
That is insane. That's she was literally a genius. I mean, not just her IQ, but everything else about her. She really was.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I already mentioned that she was hired in as a computer and was one of the women who performed complex calculations by hand for the engineers. So she did that, and I've got some websites. I've got a website about the West Area Computing. That if anybody wants to read about that, I'll put that to give that to Karen so she can post it. Of course, she opened the door for women and people of color for career choices in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in those fields. She was instrumental in having women and people of color to be directly involved in like space exploration. And she, of course, would inspire future generations, but she didn't start inspiring them worldwide until 2016. This is a fairly recent knowledge that we have about her. She busted through the glass ceiling and shattered the stereotypes that women and people of color cannot be successful in science and applied science careers, which are historically dominated by men. Those fields are historically dominated by men. She busted through that ceiling and tore those stereotypes apart. Science and applied science. Engineering is an applied science, so that's why I put applied science in there. She provided a strong foundation for contributions of women and African Americans to the STEM fields, and she did this during segregation. So, and if you want to read more about the story, of course, I mentioned Hidden Figures. People can find the book, and it's also a film. And her story, I'm sure, is going to stay with us for forever. As long as we still have science and technology and engineering and those sorts of things, her story is going to always be there, I think.
She sounds like a very strong woman.
Yes.
And that goes right along with what Shalana and I were talking about last week with her person that she chose. I can't remember her name. What was her name?
Maggie Bailey.
Maggie Bailey. Okay. Because probably sheer stubbornness on
Yeah.
both of them. And that goes right along with just the culture that we live in right here in our area.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, when Karen and I were young, little girls, we would hear sometimes, oh, girls can't do that. My attitude was, well, you watch me. You watch
Yeah.
me. And I think that's the attitude that they had. You watch me. I'm going to do this. You watch.
Yeah.
Our
And they
mama
pushed through.
was the same way.
She was, yes.
She said, don't you ever let somebody tell you that you can't do something. If you want to do it, go do it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so that was that. And she also taught us, and not just women or people of color, anybody, about how important determination and perseverance can be. I mean, and talent, despite facing racial or gender discrimination, or I don't know, if you just have your own insecurities, you need to step out and not let that hold you back either. Okay. So now, of course, most people didn't know about her until 2016. So she's fairly new at inspiring people, but there is a woman by the name of Mae Jemison who was the first woman of color in space. Her association with NASA meant that she knew about Katherine Johnson, and she said that Katherine Johnson's story holds personal significance for her. Okay. And I could not find any specific names of interns, but there are apparently currently interns serving at NASA who pushed through to become people with careers in the STEM fields, and Katherine Johnson served as a role model for them.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I wonder how she felt. I mean, she obviously knew that she was, I don't know, being a source of motivation for a lot of people. And
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how that made her feel.
I don't know. I'm going to say that in the moment, she probably was just focused on her work, because that's how she fought against the discrimination, was her intelligence and her work.
Right. But
So
I'm talking
in
about
the
like after
moment.
she was retired and, she would hear stories. Oh, look, that's so and so. And
Mm-hmm.
they're in a STEM field, they're in a science or a
Mm-hmm.
technology field.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I mean, everybody may not have known about her until 2016, but people close to her, or who were her neighbors, or who maybe she knew somebody at a supermarket, they would have known who she was and maybe talked with her and knew what she had accomplished. So,
Well, I'm going to go so far as to say that people of color knew
mhm,
about her before anybody white knew about
yes,
her.
yes, absolutely,
Globally, I mean.
yes, I'm sure, yes. Now, Christina Koch is another NASA astronaut and she's known for holding the record for the longest single space flight by a woman. And she mentioned that she was inspired by Katherine Johnson's dedication and love for her work, and Johnson's ability to overcome challenges like prejudice. Now, Christina Koch went into space and set her record March 14, when she went into space March 14, 2019. So that's a fairly recent launch.
Mm.
Now, the
And that
name of
was
the
before she died.
yes, yes, but it was after 2016. So I'm guessing that she didn't. I didn't find anything that said that Christina Koch read the book Hidden Figures, but she was an astronaut. She worked with NASA. She probably read the book.
Probably,
I mean,
yeah.
it's logically conclusive. I mean, not conclusive, but it's a logical path you can follow that she probably read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's a book. The title of it is My Remarkable Journey, a Memoir. First published May 25, 2021. It
My
is
Remarkable Journey.
a memoir. It is Katherine Johnson's memoir, which she wrote with the help of her daughters, Jorlette Heilich and Catherine Moore, and the writer Lisa Fraser Page. And it's available on Amazon. So, and that's what I have about Katherine Johnson.
So you have any thoughts about just women of the Appalachian Mountains in general?
I think stubbornness and the attitude of, well, you just watch me is
Yeah.
how we are.
Yeah, well, in the vernacular of the 21st century, it is here, hold my beer.
Do it
Yeah,
twice and
right.
take
Yeah.
a selfie.
Yeah. Except I don't think on Miss Johnson's part it would have been beer. It would have been hold my slide rule or something like that.
Here, hold my pencil.
Hold my
Hold my
pencil,
pencil. No, no, no. Give me that back. I need it.
yeah.
Oh
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah, I think she's very inspirational. I mean, even if you don't want to go into a STEM field, she busted through the glass ceiling and busted the stereotype that a woman can't do a job that's been historically dominated by men. This can be the same for women who want to be police officers or firefighters or judges, attorneys. It can be
Mhm.
anything. It doesn't have to be in the field of STEM. It doesn't have to be that. It can be other careers that have been historically dominated by men. She can give inspiration to women and people of color to pursue those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Medicine. Or if there's a male who wants to be a nurse, push through that glass ceiling and that stereotype and be a nurse. I know our mother has said many times that she really likes it when she has a male nurse. She had a very good life, I think, and she was very important to us, not only as women, but to everybody, I think.
Hmm.
But she didn't exactly lead a real exciting life. I mean, I suppose it was exciting because I imagine if you work for NASA and you're calculating the numbers to get the Apollo 13 men home safely, that's got to be pretty exciting.
It's gonna be stressful, but exciting.
Yes, but it's not exciting like, well, I'm the first woman who was a police officer in the city of Boston. It's not exciting like that.
Yeah,
Different type of
a
excitement.
little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's very inspiring. I think I want to read her memoir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see maybe if the library has it.
Oh, yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's a good place to go.
A couple of other places to find books if you're interested, Dee Dee or Shalon, is called Hamilton Books
Okay.
or hamiltonbook.com. They have current and older titles from a bunch of different authors, a bunch of different topics and genres
Mm-hmm.
at very discounted prices. And another site is called
I know
thriftbooks.com.
I know about thrift books, yeah.
Yeah, I've ordered a bunch of books from there, and I've just started ordering books from Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones from Hamilton are new.
Okay.
And most of the ones that you'll find on thrift books, though, are used copies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey, I don't care to read a hand-me-down book.
No.
We were talking about that.
Exactly. Next week is going to be me. And to be honest, I am looking at 3 different people, and I can't decide which one I'm going to pick still.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll probably end up picking somebody completely different. But I think it's neat. Shalon picked somebody that was, I mean, she was definitely like in the holler.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
back hills for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dee Dee's lady, Miss Johnson, is a little more,
Sophisticated,
Urban.
well,
A little
urban.
more
more of
urban.
a,
There
yeah,
you go.
she's a townie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although where she grew up was actually considered rural, it was definitely not in a holler.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Nobody
think
was,
probably
neighbor wasn't making moonshine. Or
No.
maybe, I don't know.
could have
Well,
been,
yeah, who knows? Yeah.
could have been. You never know what her grandpa did, where she got those math. We talked about moonshine being like chemistry.
Chemistry.
So yeah, but
Hmm.
that's what we'll be doing, and I'm going to be the one closing out our 3-part series on the women of the Appalachian Mountains, and then the next week we are going to have the challenge from Miss Anna.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we need to go ahead and by next Sunday get her words.
Her story is complete. I don't know that she's made her word list yet. I'll have to ask her.
Okay, so
Okay.
if on Sunday, before we close out, we can get her words, then we will do our stories on the week of the 24th.
Yeah, I'll have her get it to us this week.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, we will talk in chat and I will see you next week. Um, yeah, I got a little bit of work to do, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you.
And we'll talk to you later. That makes me happy.